Hello, this is Latricia Renee and welcome to my channel. So today's image is actually one of two pieces that go together. You can actually see them both printed out on the same sheet there. I wanted them to be a little bit smaller so I don't use quite as much of the Copic Markers, so I did print them both out on the same sheet. Today we're working on the right side, which is the silver side. Next week you'll see me working on the left side, which is going to be gold. Together they are Desire Gold and Desire Silver. So I started out, I took a Prismacolor pencil to outline where I wanted her jewelry to be. That's because for some reason with the Prismacolor it's nice because when you color over it with the marker, you still get kind of a faint sheen of where the pencil line was, so I can use that as a guide for adding in silver details later. Here I am just outlining the picture in the blue Copic multi-liner. I believe it's navy. What I originally wanted was to just outline things as a guide in the blue, and then later I wanted to go back in with a black micron brush pen, but I didn't really end up doing that. I'm still a little nervous with using the brush pens because I don't have as good of control with them yet, so rather than risk it, I decided to just darken some areas with the black Copic multi-liner. Now, I don't know if it's noticeable or not, but the inspiration for these lovely ladies actually came from the Dragon Age games, specifically Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age Inquisition. Not really a big fan of the second one. So the inspiration comes from two sources in these games. The first one is the Desire Demons, which I think have this gorgeous aesthetic, and I just love the way their horns, I just love the way that the horns are part of their look. The other inspiration came from the race of Kunari, specifically during the character creation and Inquisition, the different horn options that you had, some of them came dipped in gold, and that's one of the primary inspirations for this piece. Is I love that idea of a horned girl with the gold dipped horns, and then I kind of took it a bit further and I just wanted to completely cover them in jewelry. So these ladies, they're wearing pretty much nothing but jewelry, which kind of ties in with that desire aspect. So the lovely blue lady here is silver. The original idea I had was for gold, but then of course I wanted to do both gold and silver as partner pieces. And then so I decided for silver, maybe it's a little obvious of a choice to use blue for her main color, but sometimes going the obvious route isn't always a bad thing, I guess. It was a little nerve-wracking trying to color her skin so dark and in such an unnatural skin color, obviously, because sometimes it felt like it was a little hard to judge what the appropriate level of light or shadow should be. As I go, I do think that her bottom half ends up a little bit lighter than her dark half. And a big part of that is because I was having a little bit of trouble blending as well. When I got to the larger areas, I felt like the blending just wasn't as smooth. So that's one of the reasons why it seems to come out a little bit lighter than normal. But I feel like overall the piece still works really well together. I do really like the paper that I'm using here, which is the Hammermill 100-pound cover cardstock, which I understand is their dupe for the expressive blending card. One of the YouTubers that I follow, I apologize, I can't remember who recommended it, and I do love it. It's amazing, it's impossibly smooth, and it does really work well for the blending. Although I do really want to try something a little more absorbent, like a watercolor paper, because I mean, I have tested it a little bit and it does seem to blend so much nicer and the colors are so much more vibrant. But of course, it just sucks the ink up, and being new to Copic Markers, I don't really want to waste them, especially because they are really pricey and I'm just starting out as an artist, so I don't really have the money to go out and buy new markers all the time. So hopefully one day I'll be able to experiment a little bit more with papers there. For me, one of the biggest keys to doing this piece was breaking her down into different sections that I could manage. And then I would occasionally take breaks from coloring her skin to go do something else, like go color in the gems specifically. Which, by the way, I do use a little bit of Copic Markers for them, but you should see I also use a bit of Prismacolor. Because I scaled the image down, the gems had to be much smaller, and so I needed the Prismacolor to get in there and get that precise definition in a couple of them. When I originally had this piece, I wanted the gems to kind of match the color theme of the girl, of the subject. So for silver, since she's sort of silver and blue, I chose, blue and green and purple for the gems. But honestly, looking at the finished piece, I wish I had gone with contrasting colors rather, like a yellow or an orange or something like that to really pop out against that blue. I still like the way it looks, don't get me wrong, I think it's a gorgeous piece and I'm really proud of it, but there's always something, that you can improve on, no matter what. Even if it's the most amazing piece you've ever done, blows your last stuff out of the water, there's always something that you can do better. So let me tell you, I have been so excited about doing these pieces that I have been working on them pretty much non-stop for like the last week or so, trying to get them just right. Because I had this idea and I just knew instantly that this was going to be a major piece for me. These were going to be portfolio level pieces, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I wanted to push myself to make sure that they were up to par, that they were gonna be good enough to match my vision. Lately, actually, I've been feeling so inspired by so many things. I feel like I've got so many ideas swimming around in my head, all of these beautiful things that I want to create, and it's so hard because I don't really have enough time to do them all. I only get about 3 days a week to, do art, make these videos, practice sketching. I'm doing the 365 Art a la carte challenge. I don't know if you guys follow her, but she is amazing. She has this great calendar with 365 art prompts, one for each day, and I've been following along with it on my Instagram. Go ahead and check that out if you want to. But there's just so much, and it's so hard trying to be patient, and I just want to do it all now. But I am trying really hard to be patient with myself, because this is something that I really want to do professionally, and I know that it is going to take time. I have to build up my portfolio, I have to build up an audience, but I'm sure I'll get there eventually. These pieces, I think, are very important to me because they represent to me one of the things that I really want to do as an artist. One of the reasons why I want these in my portfolio so bad is because I love fantasy art. I've always loved the fantasy genre ever since I was young, reading high fantasy books. And it's one of my dreams to be able to help illustrate for like Dungeons and Dragons books and RPG books like that. I think that would be amazing. So hopefully one day I'll get there. I know I'm going to try my best for it. I feel so silly talking about this like such a fangirl. Not very professional at all, I think, but practice makes perfect, right? It's so weird trying to do these commentary and just sitting here talking to myself, but also talking to hypothetical people somewhere out there that I don't know. It's a very strange experience. So at this point, I've just about finished with her skin here, just adding in some final details and some areas that I missed. And then here I am going in on the hair. I wanted to keep it very light to go with her silver. So I decided to go for white with purple detailing. And I used a couple of different shades. I'll have a list of the markers that I use down in the description below. There's too many and I don't remember them all offhand. But like I said, I'll definitely have those in the description as well as all the other materials that I used. For the horns, I had a really hard time deciding what color I wanted to make them. Part of me was thinking black, and I thought like a nice dark black would look really nice. But then I actually wanted to do the background black. So I decided instead that I would go with white with just a little bit of shadow with some warm grays. I don't actually end up, I haven't done the black background on the image yet for a couple of reasons. First of all, I still want to draw and color the other side of the piece before I fill in the black. Also, I don't really have the ink that I want to use for it, so I'll probably just end up doing digitally for now and then going back and adding the black later. So here I am adding the silver, the star of the show. I did a little mess up there on her hand, but I just went back and covered it with the Copic marker, which can't tell too badly, I think. I am using the Signo Uniball pen in silver for this. I do also have a silver Sharpie that I used. I actually did that one for the little headband jewel, but it's basically the same color and it's actually a lot thicker than the Uniball Signo is, so I can't get as fine of lines for it, so I decided to just go ahead and stick with the Signo Uniball. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this piece. I hope you look forward to seeing its companion piece, Desired Gold, which should be uploaded next week. I know I'm looking forward to drawing it for you guys. See you later.